everyone, welcome back to Risa Does Makeup. Today I have what I hope will be a very helpful video for you. I'm going to be sharing with you my 5 best tips for concealing under eye circles without looking cakey, feeling heavy, settling into those fine lines, making your eyes look drier. Not only will I be sharing with you the tips and techniques that I use, but also some of my favorite products. These are products that I have found through a lot of trial and error and sometimes through recommendations that work the best for me. But not only have I found that they work the best for me, but they also work the best on the variety of clients that I have. All of these I find work especially well on women like myself and men that are over 40 that, we definitely have a little bit more to cover usually. Don't get me wrong, I know there are women out there in their 20s that have maybe some genetically really dark circles or really fine lines beginning in their 20s. So this video is actually for everyone. So you're gonna get some tips, you're gonna get some techniques, you're gonna get the products. So definitely if you wanna see all of that in action, then please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content like this at least twice a week, and you can just click that subscribe button and be notified when I upload a new video. So let's get to it. So the first thing you want to do is you want to apply a daytime eye cream. Now this is really important and a step that a lot of people, including myself, used to miss a lot. And I could get away with not doing this step when I was a little bit younger, but now that I'm getting older and those fine lines are more apparent, I definitely have to do this step because if the area under the eyes, which for most of us is already very dry, if you're going to be putting any type of product on top of it, it can tend to cling to any dry areas if you haven't moisturized them or smoothed them out. So using an eye cream will help the area obviously stay hydrated, make your concealers go on smoother and nicer. So another thing that you can do if you have more time, say you have a big night out and you really want to look your absolute best and you are going to take the time to do this, an eye patch, an under eye hydrating eye patch. I don't have any to show you right now, but I do highly recommend them and I use them on clients, again, for a big event. I highly recommend, there's an inexpensive one from Sephora and then a really great one from Peter Thomas Roth, and I will put them somewhere on this screen so you can have the exact names. Now, the reason why I say a daytime eye cream is because nighttime eye creams, just like nighttime face creams, can often be much thicker, much more of a heavy consistency. So you want something that's more lightweight. So even a lightweight daytime eye serum. I personally like this one from MAC. It's the Mineralized Charged Water. I like gel eye creams for the daytime because I have oily skin and my under eye area isn't extremely dry. So it's worth the effort to experiment, try some different kinds. I'm going to use my finger and I am going to just pat a little bit right on my under eyes. So now I'm going to let that sit for about 2 to 3 minutes just so it really soaks in, and I'm not going to go in and try to put anything on top and it's just going to slide all around. So you want to make sure that that sinks into the under eye area for a good 2 to 3 minutes. So now that our under eye area is hydrated, the next tip is to use an under eye primer. We've thought about using lid primers and face primers, but have you ever thought to use one under your eye? Now, this is not a sponsored video at all. This is just a product that I personally love. It is from Amazing Cosmetics. It is the Line Smoother and Primer, and this is such a good product. It contains peptides and ceramides and plant botanicals, and they call it Photoshop in a tube. It really helps to smooth any fine lines under the eye and make your concealer go on so nicely. So I'm gonna put a little bit of this on, and it actually has these little roller balls. And again, this is not a sponsored video. I discovered this product on my own. And what you do is you squeeze a little bit out and you roll it under the eye area. Now, if you have puffy under eyes, you can keep this in your refrigerator and then take it out in the morning, and that cooling effect will really help to depuff that under eye area. So I'm gonna squeeze out a little bit more and place it on the other under eye. Now, if you're not interested in spending more money on another product for your under eyes, there have been times where I have just taken my face primer and applied it to my under eye area, especially if it's a silicone-based primer. And lately I've been testing out this Murad Invisiblur Perfecting Shield. I received it this month in my Sephora Play box. And so far I'm really liking it. I haven't put on my foundation yet, so I'm gonna apply a little bit of this. Anyway, what I would do, since I've already put on that Amazing Cosmetics, I'm not gonna do it now, but I would just apply it underneath my eyes. Just take it up underneath my eyes. And I've never had any issues with irritation. I've done that with this primer, with my Smashbox primer, basically every primer I've ever used. Just like how primers work on your face by filling in pores and fine lines, it does the same thing to the under eye area. So again, I just take this up and right under the eye. So the next step in my makeup routine would be to apply my foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quickly. So I did not apply any foundation to the under eye area. I basically take it right to here. That's where I apply my foundation to. And as you can hopefully tell, my under eye area already looks pretty good just from using the moisturizer and that Amazing Cosmetics product. But we have to move on to tip number 3, which is using a brightening product. I have tried a bunch of different kinds. My current favorite is this one from Pixi. You can get it at Target. It is the Brightening Peach Correction Concentrate. And I'm gonna be using this with a MAC 242, I think that's what this is. I will put the correct number in the description box. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna go into the pot, like so. And what I do is I go right into this inner corner, right here. Because on me especially, that is where I have the most, the hideous purple blue discoloration. So I take that and then I just kind of blend it out. And then I'm going to just pat it in with my fingers. And the reason why I'm using my fingers is because the heat, my body heat, is going to help to kind of push the brightener right into the skin without settling into lines or looking heavy or cakey. I really hope the lighting is reflecting what I'm seeing because there is such a huge difference between the two sides from my perspective. I'm hoping the camera is capturing that. So going into the other side again, going by the side of the nose and then blending down. And then using my finger to pat it out. So what happens when you use a brightening product like this one is that it enables you to use less concealer. There is no reason why anybody should be using the amount of concealer that I see other YouTubers using. And I know some of my other friends here on YouTube have put out videos about not doing your concealer like a YouTuber, and I couldn't agree with them more. So many people just use way, way too much product, especially if you are over 35 years old, heck, 30, 35, 40. We do not need that much concealer. It ends up looking heavy and cakey, and it's just not good. So that was pretty much tip number 4, which is finding the right concealer for you. Just because someone on YouTube is using it doesn't mean it's gonna be the best one for you. Even if it's one that has thousands of great reviews on Sephora or Ulta, again, doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. Some of my current favorites happen to be one that is pretty popular right now, which is the Tarte Shape Tape. But I also like the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind. And I also like this one from Perfect. It's the Skin Perfecting Conceal. Today, I'm actually going to be using the Instant Age Rewind because so many people use this Shape Tape in their videos. I think it's been done and done. But you know what? Actually, maybe I'll do one on each eye just so I can show you how to work with the Shape Tape. With this one, I know some people don't like this spongy applicator. I don't know why, but I do. Some people cut it off and just use the product, but I don't mind. Yeah, I guess it gets a little messy, but it's not awful in my opinion, and I think it's soft enough to use in the under eye area, and I like just how easy it is to apply like this. So this is a thinner consistency concealer, so you can go in and put a little bit more, but again, I'm not kind of going crazy with this like a lot of other YouTubers do. So again, you can use your fingers, or you can go in with a beauty blender, which for a lot of concealers, this is the best method because you can really press it into your skin. Now, here is tip number 5. Set one eye before moving on to the other. You want to set this concealer ASAP. So I'm going to go in with my favorite brush to set my under eyes, which is the Bdellium Tools 767. And I have a couple favorite powders to set my under eyes. My current favorite is the Ben Nye Luxury Powder in Cameo. I've mentioned in other videos that I do not like to set my under eyes with the Laura Mercier Translucent because I find it very, very drying, especially for women over 35. It made my under eyes look horrible. 10 times worse. I actually had to remove my concealer and start over when I used it. So that's just my personal opinion. I am using the Ben Nye, again, this Bdellium Tools, and setting as quickly as possible that under eye area. And you want to make sure that you're going back and forth under the eye. You don't want to just kind of swipe it. You want to go back and forth because see those little lines? I don't know if you can, but right under there, you want to make sure that you're smoothing those out. And so if you're only going in one direction, throughout the day, it kind of might start itching more in. So you want to make sure that you're smoothing the product out with the brush back and forth. So for this eye, I'm going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. And all I do is I take a little bit that's on the tip of the brush and I put it in the inner corner, slide it down a little bit there, and that's it. That is all I use with this product because it is so highly, highly concentrated. So now I am blending it out kind of into that triangle shape and then going in with my beauty blender and doing the same exact thing I did using the Maybelline. If you're someone who doesn't like to use loose powders to set under their eye, you prefer the convenience of a pressed powder, my current favorite for that would be the Mineralized Skin Finish in Light, or there's one called Light Plus, depending on how bright you want your under eye to be. This one, Light, I'm just going to do the same exact thing. Pick it up on the brush, tap off excess, and go back and forth under my eye. I find it works best if I look up, then I can really get super close to the lash line. And I also set down here in this hollow right here because this is a real brightening powder, so I like to hit that area pretty good. And voila, we are done. Now, my final tip is for someone that has under eye bags. I am lucky that genetically I just don't have heavy bags underneath my eyes, but I know many of you watching probably do, and you're thinking, okay, that was great, Risa, but what about me? I need to figure out a way to kind of conceal those bags. So my tip for you is to take one of those concealers that I demonstrated and a brush and apply the color, apply the concealer under, let's say this was the bag, this is where it would be. You want to put it underneath the bag. You want to take that light shade, that light concealer, and put it underneath the bag, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to conceal the shadow that it's creating. Basic color theory is that dark colors make things recede, bright colors bring them forward, which is why when we're working with like hooded eyelid, we put a darker color in the crease to give the illusion of the hood. So for the under eye bags, you want the bag tends to be a little bit lighter, and then the darkness, then it casts the shadow underneath. So if we lighten that area, it'll give the illusion of it not being so dark under there and making the bags less apparent, less noticeable. So that is my final tip. I'm gonna go put the rest of my makeup on and be right back. Okay, now that everything is on, you can see my under eyes look pretty darn good, and this is going to stay looking this exact way all day long. I will be able to look in the mirror 8, 9, 10 hours from now, and my under eyes will still look bright and refreshed. So I really hope you enjoyed the video. All of the tips, plus the bonus tip I gave at the end to help those of you that struggle with under eye bags and concealing those. So if you did like the video, please give it a thumbs up. leave me a comment. So be part of my community and go ahead and subscribe and follow me on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook and Twitter. All of those things are Risa Does Makeup. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all very soon.